How's it going, guys? I'm your host Couerihem Gaming. Welcome back to a very special DragonFable video, and today's video idea is courtesy of Demonic Ice Nemesis. So shout out to him, thank you very much for the idea on making this DragonFable bosses in tier list. Okay, so today I am going to be ranking all of the bosses inside of the inn according to this tier list, and this if you guys watch the Adventure Quest bosses tier list, this the rankings here will be similar. So at the very top we have the God tier, then we have hair pullingly difficult, can give you a challenge, okay if you know the mechanics, and last but not least, outdated pieces of cake. Okay, so there are just way too many like individual challenges for me to address them one by one, so I'm only going to be going through the hardest variant of the challenges, which means those are your duos, your trios, your quads, your extreme versions, whatnot. Okay, so the base versions I will not be going through them because there's just too many of them to go through. Alright, so first of all, and before we start the video, I just want to say that this is entirely based off my opinion alone. Like, all tier lists are opinionated. You are welcome to disagree with me. Do let me know what you guys think of the tier list down in the description below. If you agree with me, let me know. If you don't agree with me, let me know why as well. I would love to hear your feedback. Okay, and of course this is based off my own experience fighting the monster. So you may find a fight that is easy but maybe I find it hard, or maybe you may find a fight that is hard but maybe I find it easy through my own experience. Okay, so without further ado, let us jump straight into the tier list. Okay, so the first one we have Ancient Duo. This one I would say because of how this eye monster, I forgot what's the name, four-eyed freak, whatever it's called, can hit with a variety of elements. On top of that, you have this guy that can I believe he reduces your all resist. So yeah, this one I would say can give you a challenge, but probably at the bottom. Okay, not super difficult, but it's not super easy either. Next up we have the Baleful Brothers. This one I believe it is quite easy. In fact, I am going to place him in outdated pieces of cake. Not exactly outdated since this challenge was rather recent, but I would say he's quite this challenge is pretty easy to do. The only like difficult part is you have to wait for the last guy to like use up all of his healing, but that is really more tedious than it is difficult. So I'm going to say this is going to be a pretty easy piece of cake. Alright, next up we have the Super Centaur Justice Go as well as Dave the Groundhog. Okay, so this one one of the first few in challenges, and back in the day it wasn't even that hard, to be honest. So the only hard part is needing to finish Dave off in like 15 turns or something like that, and of course enduring through Super Centaur's multitude of different elemental attacks. But apart from that, I would say it's pretty easy, so I'm going to put it here. Will I say it's harder than Baleful Brothers? Probably yes, because there's more things that you need to take note of, and it also hits with more elements, I believe. So yeah, this one cauldron groupies or sisters, whatever you call it, yeah, super easy, one of the easiest in fights ever. You literally don't even have to care about the mechanics, like you can just kill all of them super duper easily. Right, next up the Chaotic Twins. This one is part of the Chaos Board challenges. This one I would say it's not very difficult. I would say it's okay if you know the mechanics, and if you do know the mechanics, you can make full use of them to like heal yourself. You don't even need to go in there with a class that can heal, because they do give out full heals during this fight. So as long as you time your skills properly, you can take advantage of that. So I would say this is actually pretty easy. Alright, next up Chaotic Dragonbond. Ooh, this one, after you kill one, the other one becomes significantly harder. Together they only hit with one element, but the enraged part is usually what gets you, and usually you do VAR first and then you do Stylic Bite. Stylic Bite, yeah, if you don't nuke him down fast enough, he can do a lot of damage, and eventually he'll just out damage any healing that you can do. On top of that, he also has his own healing every couple of turns, so yeah, you really do need to nuke him down, as well as increased all resistance or something like that. So this one I would say is it okay, or is it can give you a challenge? I'll say this is still okay, but definitely harder than Chaos Twins. Next up Braid Sun and Yala. I forgot what the name of this is, what the name of this duo challenge is. This one, Yala can nuke you very, very hard if you don't know what to shield. As for, no, Braid Sun can nuke you very, very hard. Yeah, Yala, not super hard, but you need to kill with dots, I believe. You need to chip it down, and this one I would say is not very hard. As long as you burst down Braid Sun, you should be good. And Braid Sun doesn't exactly have a lot of HP, so I'm going to put this probably here above the Chaos Twins. But I would say slightly below Chaotic Dragonbond. Right, this one from the Exaltia Tower, Couerihem, or whatever his name is, you need a special item to stop him from doing his heal or before you can damage him, something like that. But even, and that item is only for Dragon Amulet holders, but even as a non-Dragon Amulet holder, you can beat this guy pretty easily, even without the item. So yeah, this one, this guy is also a piece of cake. I would say he's a bit harder than the Cauldron Groupies, but yeah, on average, they are pretty simple. Next one, Crystal and Stone. Oh, you can just ignore the crystal guy, I forgot what his name is, and then just focus. You can ignore Visaling completely and then deal with Roktoru first. So it's not exactly a duo fight, you can completely ignore one of them. So I would say this one is also going in the very easy realm, but definitely a little bit higher than, is it harder than Baleful Brothers? Nah, I don't think so, because this is essentially a single fight if you ask me. Alright, next up, this one is it Daatael or is it Warden? I think this is Daatael. Yeah, with the 2 Celestial Guards, I think the challenge comes from the 2 Celestial Guards. Once you take down the 2 Celestial Guards, the damage output really isn't that high. But for the most part, I would say this is also pretty simple challenge. Above this guy, because this is essentially a trio fight, whereas this is like a single fight. Dreamspace Dominion, one of the earlier in challenges as well. This one is a trio, and it can get very hard, especially Argus Skywatcher, or especially the, this duo here, Argus Skywatcher, and I forgot what's the name of the other one. Yeah, because the other guy just start hitting super duper hard for damage, and then you have K2, which you need to take note of as well, increasing the cooldown of your skills, reducing your all resist. But I would say this challenge has become quite outdated in recent years, but I wouldn't like place it as super easy yet. Probably still okay if you know the mechanics. I think it's a bit harder than Braid Sun. Yeah, because Braid Sun, really, you need to take note of his healing. You shield that, you nuke him down, and Yala is just a piece of cake. So yeah, I'll put this slightly above that. And on top of that, K2, once he goes below like a certain... Oh, you need to be below 50% HP in order to damage K2. So that's another thing, which means that it is kind of risky. But then again, K2 doesn't do a lot of damage. But still, the fact that you need to be below 50% HP also means that you need to constantly have a way to heal. Otherwise, you just die. Right, so this one I'm going to place it slightly below Chaotic Dragonbond. Dragonoid challenge. Oh, super duper easy. This one of the first few in challenges as well. Easier than Couerihem? I would say harder or easier? Okay, maybe... Yeah, I think this guy is a bit hard. Wait, no. Okay, Couerihem, I think Couerihem is a bit harder. You need to take note of more mechanics. Dragonoid is just like super simple, so I'm gonna put him here. Cauldron Groupies is still one of the easiest. Another one, Dreamspace Duo. Oh, Sporkling, the one that can inflict a lot of dot effects on you, as well as having a very high blocking, as well as Meowfen, which number 1, you can't stun, otherwise he nukes you, and number 2, you also can't crit or something like that, right? So these two, they are still pretty easy for the most part. Let's see, where do I think they go? I would say they probably go here. Yep. Still quite an easy fight nonetheless, but it's quite tedious, especially for the Meowfen part, because you can't really use crits. Duty and Rebellion. Ooh. In Tame is RNG, so a lot of RNG fights, they are pretty tough because there is no like 100% guaranteed way of making sure that you win against them. And then there's Illumina also, which you have to take note of how many times you miss. If you miss too many times, then she can just nuke you with a light attack. This one I would say can give you a challenge. Would I say it's above or below Ancient Duo? Probably slightly below. Alright, Eggsalted Chickencow, one of the newest in challenges. There's basically a timer limit whereby you have to beat Eggsalted Chickencow or it just one-shots you. So, but for the most part, it's not super hard. Is it a piece of cake though? The amount of damage it can do is quite high, so I wouldn't really place it as outdated piece of cake. Probably below Chaos Twins. Yeah, I'm a bit torn between these two rankings, but because of how much damage it can output and because of the like 20 something turn timer that you need to nuke him down in, I'm gonna put it here. Next up, this one I know you guys can't really see it. This one is Egomaniacs challenge, I believe. Yeah. Excuse me. Egomaniacs, you just need to be fast. Yeah, you just you just need to be fast. But I think a lot of classes can do Egomaniacs quite well, and as long as you stack your fire resist and nuke down Val first, it shouldn't be too difficult. Obviously, you don't spend like an hour you know, thinking of what gear to switch out, because if you do that, then chances are you're going to die. But for the most part, I would say it is in the realm of okay if you know the mechanics. And this one, I would say it's below Eggsalted Chickencow because of how old the challenge is. So nowadays it's not really super hard, and you do need to nuke down Sand from like 2000 plus HP, but that is pretty easy to do. Okay, and Sand is also stunnable, so yeah, there's also that. Engineer and drones, from the apex of the Exaltia Tower, I would say the first hair-pullingly difficult fight. Between these two ranks, I am also considering putting this here, but because it does now damage as well as having a multi-element nuke and the fact that you need to take note of the drones, I would say yeah, it's a bit more difficult because of all the stuff that you have to keep track of, and of course you can't really, you know, plan for its rotation because it's completely random. Alright. This one is Envy, I believe, the first of the Corrupted 7 challenges. Yeah, super duper easy. Envy probably on the same level as Cauldron Groupies. I can't remember which one is harder. Probably Envy by a little bit. Oh my god. Inevitable Equilibrium. All the way up here, that's for sure. I hate this challenge with a passion. Oh my god. This is probably my most hated challenge in the entire game. Period. I don't know why, I just have a very bad experience with it. RNG rotations, super duper, like a lot of things that I need to take note of and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I just hate this challenge, man. Absolutely hate it. Maybe it's not that difficult anymore. Some people might put it here nowadays, but I think it's still in the god tier in terms of difficulty. Next up, this one is this. As Raja or Yaphael. Okay, I can't remember who this is. We'll come back to this later. Right, next up, Failed Doom. Failed Doom. Failed Doom is pretty hard because of Sepulture. The fact that he gets more or resist, the lower his HP goes, and Caitiff also hits with multi-element attacks. Of course, you want to take down Caitiff first and Sepulture later on, but put them together, I would say they are definitely very hard. Here or here? After you take down Caitiff, Sepulture really doesn't do that much damage, assuming you're stacking Evil Resist or even All Resist. So maybe I'm gonna put him here. Yeah, above the Ancient Duo, I think. Just slightly above. Wait. Yeah. Fallen Purpose. This one is another challenge that we got for DragonFable's birthday month last year. Speaking of which, next month will be DragonFable's birthday month, so keeping in with the theme of dragons, I wonder what are the two dragons that we are going to be facing off against next. We have the two gods inside of DragonFable, and then we also have the Destroyer as well as the Savior, so I'm quite curious, what other two dragons can they make us face off against this year? Yeah, that'll be quite interesting to see. Honestly, this one, I didn't find it very difficult. In fact, I found it quite easy, almost to the point of me wanting to put it here. But I think that was because I did it on release and because of the fact that you can stack Death Knight's Evil Resist to like a ridiculous number at that point of time. Nowadays, it's been nerfed, so maybe it can still give you a challenge. But for the most part, I would say, yeah, this is actually pretty simple. So I'm gonna put him here. Fractured Self, This one I think is hard only because of Wargoth. Yeah, Wargoth can really like nuke you super hard with his fire attacks. The Professor by himself he's not too difficult, but Wargoth is the one that you need to take, that you need to be careful about. And most people, they usually do Professor first, which means that Wargoth will usually get a bunch of hits off of you. So yeah, you need to tank Wargoth's attack as well as the Professor's attack. The Professor hits with Fear Element, if I'm not wrong, so you can't really defend against that. So it's either All Resist or some form of All Resist plus Fire Resist for Wargoth's attacks. Next up, Frallmar. You just need to chip him with fire hits repeatedly in order to kill him. Honestly, not super duper difficult. So just a tedious fight, yeah, because of how many times you need to break his skill. So I'm going to put it as outdated. Probably here. I mean, this is a single fight after all, so it's not going to be too difficult. I'm gonna put him here. Alright. Next we have Gluttony. Okay, Gluttony, another of the 7 Deadly Sins challenge. Gluttony, again, a single fight. You just need to make sure you have some status effects on him, but not a lot of health, not a lot of things to take note of. Quite an easy challenge, but I would say it's definitely harder than Envy. Probably harder than Couerihem, but yeah, below Frallmar, just slightly below. Goose Dragon. This one can be the Chaos version, can be the Extreme version. Both have its own set of difficulties depending on how you look at it. So for the Goose Dragon, I would say Goose Dragon not very hard as well, but definitely not to the point of being a piece of cake. I would say Goose Dragon is okay if you know the mechanics, but probably at the tippity top, because if you don't like have a plan for all of the weapons, or if you just get screwed over by bad RNG, I can't remember, I think that's the Chaos version, right? Yeah, then it can actually be quite hard. So I'm gonna put him here. This one is Greed. Oh, Greed, piece of cake, that's for sure. Probably slightly easier than Envy, I think. As long as you don't use buffs, I think Greed is going down quite easily. Discordia. Ooh, Discordia. The first introduction of the Dance Dance Revolution mechanic is sort of got a nerf after the lock got introduced, because now you no longer have to keep track of the whatever he asks you to go. You can just use the lock to, you know, scroll back up and see which direction he asks you to walk in. So yeah, after that nerf, I'm not really sure if you want to call it a nerf, I would say Discordia is okay. Yeah, not very difficult. So probably below Egomaniacs. Right, Kitsune. Ooh, Kitsune, the execution mechanic. Yeah, you just need to keep your HP above a certain amount. But for the most part, I would say not very hard. Probably above these guys. Yep, execution mechanic. Yeah, probably above Braid Sun as well. And yeah lah, okay, gonna put Kitsune here. Ledgermayne. Ledgermayne, another Dance Dance Revolution mechanic, I think, but this one is much simpler. Ledgermayne, honestly, I can't really remember what she does, but I think Ledgermayne is pretty simple, so gonna put Ledgermayne here. Yep. Oh wait, maybe here. Yeah, okay, Ledgermayne is pretty easy. Wolfwing, wow. Damage Vomit. This guy, he just keeps on chucking damage after damage at you. You really can't last super long against him. You really need to find a way to nuke him down. And I would say he's actually quite hard. Yeah, I find Wolfwing quite hard, especially after the Red Fruit nerf. You can no longer like consistently block against him. You still can consistently nuke him with Red Fruit, but the strategy that I use is sort of outdated because you can't use it to block his nuke attack anymore right before your own nuke. Hyperhydra. Oh, this one is also pretty easy, okay? Quite an old challenge. Came out same time as Frallmar. Is it on the same difficulty as Frallmar? Probably. Yeah, but I think Gluttony is probably a bit harder, so I'm gonna put Hyperhydra here. You just need to kill them at the same time and you're good to go. Iadoa, the latest in challenge. Very interesting mechanics. I really enjoyed the fight with Iadoa, but in terms of difficulty, I would say Iadoa is pretty easy. If you know the mechanics, yeah, he's really a piece of cake, and most classes, if not all classes, should be able to handle his mechanics. In fact, even if you have a class without the plus health, we can just use the Amalgam Trinket to take him out. So I would say Iadoa is actually quite easy. Alright, so Iadoa, I am going to place him here. Yeah, Iadoa is pretty easy. Oh, Ice and Dragons. The second quad fight inside of the entire game, and This one you need to stack Ice Resist. Even stacking Ice Resist will not guarantee you a win, because at the end you just get hit super duper hard and you have to keep track of 4 rotations. On top of that, Frost Scythe's rotation is also RNG, so yeah. God tier difficulty, but easier than Drahatia and Dradola's in my opinion. Jack and his guitar, yeah, this one same level as the twins. I'm not sure which one is harder. Probably this one, because there's 3 monsters you need to deal with instead of 2. But honestly, the both of them are like super simple. Probably not even in boss difficulty. Like, I'll put them like story boss difficulty. There are even story bosses that are harder than that. Okay, Kerfluffle. You put them 2 together, they can hit super hard. And Gaffer's attack, even if you max out your all resist, yeah, he's still going to do a ton of damage to you if you're not careful. I would say they are okay. They are not very hard on their own. Probably above. I'll say I'll put them here. Yep. Khassanda, I can't even remember what she does anymore, but I think she's not super difficult to deal with. Gonna go with easy. Yeah, gonna go with easy because she didn't really leave a lasting impression on me, so I think she's actually pretty easy to deal with. Khassanda, I am going to put her... Probably gonna put her below Ledgermayne. Yeah, just slightly below Ledgermayne. Life and Death. This challenge, though pretty old now, it still has its own set of difficulties because of Reaver, and then Aya, for the most part, you can ignore. So after you take care of Reaver, it's essentially a single monster battle. Some people will say it's hard, but honestly, I think this is pretty easy. Okay, so it's hard for the easy level. I don't know how to explain that in a better way, so I'm gonna put it here below Chaotic Dragonbond. Lion Fang, another one of the newest in challenges. You need to survive his nuke. And initially, I didn't know why. I thought his nuke was undodgeable, but it was just because I messed up his Dance Revolution mechanic. But as soon as you get that down, I would say Lion Fang, you can dodge his nuke, you can tank his nuke. There are a variety of ways to get around his nuking phase. On top of that, you can also just nuke him without him having to go through his nuking phase, but that one requires quite a lot of planning to do. So for Lion Fang, okay, yeah, not super hard, but I would say he's okay. Let's see, because of his nuking mechanic though, I'm going to put him below Chaotic Dragonbond. Yeah, I think that's a fair place to put him, right? This one is Lust. Damage Reflect. But one of the 7 deadly sins, I would say Lust is it's definitely harder than these guys, but still pretty easy for the most part. You can stack Fire Resist, and as long as you don't hit too hard, slowly chip away and then heal yourself up, you should be fine. So yeah, Lust, I would say probably just above Gluttony. Myths of Aspen Vale. You want to deal with this, what is this guy called? I can't remember the name. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of this guy. You want to deal with this guy first because he'll do more damage over time. Mega Fluffy Talk, you can sort of ignore until the end, and you need a dot in order to kill Mega Fluffy Talk. In fact, you need a strong dot class in order to even beat this fight. Otherwise, it'll just be a huge drag. And this fight, honestly, is more tedious than difficult in my opinion. But because of the fact that Mega Fluffy Talk becomes completely immune to direct damage at 75% of its HP and below. Okay, I am going to put this fight as okay. Okay, had it not been for its direct damage immunity, it's probably going into easy, but yeah. Because of that, I can't justify putting it in easy. Okay, gonna put him here above Egomaniacs. Next up, this one. I really enjoyed this fight as well, but it is pretty difficult, so... This one with Patroclus and I forgot what the other guy's name is. Yeah, pretty tough because there's quite a lot of stuff that you need to take note of. Hair-pullingly difficult. Pandora Ex. A lot of people find this fight difficult. It is the single most complex monster in the entire game, that's for sure, because there's just so many mechanics that you need to take note of. But for the most part, I actually don't find her very difficult. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I am always attempting her with like some nuke class, and like you can just nuke her down before she does any real damage, to be honest. So I would say Pandora Ex probably gonna go here. Yeah, but I can't, like, this is my own experience. I didn't really find Pandora Ex that hard, so I'm gonna put it in hair-pullingly difficult. Pride, probably the hardest out of the 7 deadly sins because of how RNG the rotation is. This one I would say can give you a challenge. Yeah, especially if RNG screws you over, then yeah, you're gonna be in for a bad time. Primordials. Ooh, back in the day this was pretty tough, but if you use the fragmented blade weapon, the one that gives you very high crit chance, then this one you break the whatever guy's armor first, and then the Utilux armor, and then afterwards you deal with Squirrel. Squirrel really doesn't do anything, but of course you have to deal with Squirrel's RNG debuffs, so that's where the real difficulty of the fight comes in. But all in all, I would say it is pretty easy nowadays. So I'm gonna go with outdated pieces of cake, but definitely one of the hardest ones here, in my opinion, because of the RNG of Squirrel. Oh my god, this one, even on their own, the solo fights are pretty hard. Yeah, even on their own, the solo fights are pretty hard. In fact, I'm going to put it above Ice and Dragons because of how difficult these two are. Even on their own, like Tomix is a nightmare to deal with if you can't nuke him down fast enough. And Draconan also, if you can't nuke him down. Both bosses need to be nuked down. If you really can't survive too long against them because they just keep nuking, and yeah, eventually you just die. Okay, Emperor of the Sea Chickens Extreme. Oh, this one. There's some RNG to the healing, right? I believe. I would say it's okay if you know the mechanics. For the most part, this is not super hard. And if you have a class that can shield the damaging attacks, then yeah, you should be fine. Because of the RNG heal, I'm gonna put it here above Egomaniacs. Yeah, but still quite easy. Oh, super outdated challenge, Elemental Chaos. This one definitely going all the way at the bottom. I would say it's a bit harder than all of these guys. Probably, yeah, because of Siofra's shifting elements, it's gonna go a bit higher than that. Is it higher than these guys? I mean, you just need to be prepared. If you're prepared with weapons of all elements, this is actually quite easy. But the fact that you need so many equipment slots. Yeah, okay, I'll put it here. Sinocence. Oh, Sinocence is a very fun challenge fight. You can just drag out the fight against him, and then like you can just nuke him for like a ton of damage. That's why this fight is so fun. But for the most part, this is quite an easy fight. So I'm going to put Sinocence probably here. No? Here? Probably easier than that. Yeah, gonna put Sinocence here. Sloth. Oh, it's the crazy healing. You just need a class that can output high amounts of damage, and then you stack your nature resist, and that is pretty much it. Not much to talk about, but you do need a class that can deal a lot of damage, so I'm gonna put it here. Tainted Time. Tainted Time, I would say it's also okay, not very hard. Like, I don't have much memory of this boss fight, probably because it didn't take me a long time to beat it, but I think there are still some stuff that I need to take note of. I'm going to put Tainted Time below Exalted and just right above the Kerfluffle challenge. Teacher and Student. Oh. Can they give you a challenge? I don't know, man. I didn't find this fight super tough either, because both of them, honestly, they don't have a lot of HP. Nitera has the death proof mechanic. Warlick, I cannot really remember, but they are both nukeable, so honestly they are not very hard. They do have a bunch of mechanics that you need to take note of, but once you know that, they are not very hard. Okay, I would say gonna put them here. Balance Remake. Oh, Balance Remake. Uenta's RNG can really screw you over super duper badly. Nota, you need to nuke her once she is below a certain threshold, but Uenta is the one that can really screw you with the RNG. So I would say hair-pullingly difficult because of her energy attack, and then like there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you need to take note of. Balance Remake, I would say I'll put it here. Yeah, below Engineer, but they are all almost the same in terms of difficulty. Magister, Mislev, and whatever the other guy's name is. Oh, this one is the one that you need to nuke down the first guy. one of the fights first, right? This one I would say is pretty easy. Yeah, it's definitely an outdated challenge for sure. After you nuke down one of them, the other guy is quite easy to deal with, and honestly, the guy that you have to nuke down, very easy to nuke down as well, so I will not say very hard. Fight probably gonna go... Is it easier than... Yeah, probably even easier than that. Okay, gonna put it here. Above Sinnohsons. Mage and Serpent. Oh, this one you can also make use of the mechanics to heal, but there's a whole bunch of things that you need to take note of, and the Hydra can hit super duper hard if you are taking your own sweet time, so you need to nuke down Hydra. At the same time, you can use Escherion to heal, so I would say it's okay if you know the mechanics. I'm going to put it, it's probably on par with Chaos Twins. Yeah, slightly harder than Chaos Twins because of the fact that you need to deal with Hydra quickly. But because of the full heal that you can make use of Escherion and his Staff of Inversion, I would say it's not super high up on the list. Time Torn Matrix. This one is more tedious than hard, honestly. The boss monster is like super easy, doesn't really have any mechanics that I remember, so I'm gonna put it here. All the way at the bottom. Warden. Some people find the Warden hard. For me, I think it's pretty easy, but because of the fact that it can stun you and a whole bunch of stuff that you need to take note of, I'm gonna put Warden here below Discordia. Weight of Life, one of the newer challenges as well. This one can be pretty hard. Juniper hits super hard with the nature attack and you can't really dodge his attack, so that's one thing you need to take note of. And Adjudicator, swinging his skills and all that kind of stuff, that one you kind of need to hit him with a bunch of like crits first, then you can ignore him. Like if you can use something like the Corrupted 7 Trinket or something like Elemental Unity, just give him a bunch of that, whatever that is called, then you can ignore him and it basically becomes a single fight. And after you take down Juniper, you can focus on Adjudicator, which isn't super hard either. So, but for the most part, you put them together, that's when they become a bit hard. So I would say this fight probably gonna go here. Yeah. Alright, who is this? Oh, this one is the Chaos Lord, TB Senas, right? TB Senas, you need to fulfill his wish mechanic, but once you do his wish mechanic, he's not very hard either. So I would say TB Senas probably gonna go... Yeah, I just need to fulfill his wish mechanic, honestly. This is very hard to think of. Let me see here. Where do I want to go for this guy? Above Exalted. Above... Wish mechanic. Okay, I'm gonna put him here. Talk. Okay, Dream Space Talk. It gets harder as it goes on. I am assuming this is a level 1000 Dream Space Talk, and that is beatable by non-DA players. So I guess that's a testament of how not very hard it is. Okay, assuming this is the 1000 floor talk, I would say, yeah, it's still kind of easy. So this one, it does hit very hard though, and I think his abilities are a bit RNG. I can't exactly remember, so I'm going to put it above Iadoa. Okay, because of how much damage he does. Yeah, I'm gonna put him here. Oh, the 3 dragons. This one easily cheesed with Dragon Slayer class. Do I want to put Dragon Slayer in this context? Let me think. They didn't ban it, so I guess you can use Dragon Slayer. The very first challenge fight that came out. Yeah, because you can use Dragon Slayer, this is like super easy. If you can't use Dragon Slayer, then obviously this will be harder, but I'm assuming you can use Dragon Slayer. So yeah, all the way at the bottom. Undead Duo. Oh, this one. Quite an old challenge, but for the most part, it still has its difficulty because of how much damage they can do if you're not careful. Both of them can nuke very hard, and you also kind of need to nuke them down as well. Otherwise, you're just gonna eat a bunch of damage. So I'm going to put them here. Okay, maybe above. Yeah, above this one. Above Myths of Aspenvale. Myths of Aspenvale, I'm reconsidering putting it in piece of cake category, you know. I don't really know, man. Unending Empires. Oh, another dance mechanic. This one I find it hard because every time I do this stupid challenge, I keep getting hit with the timer bug, whereby the longer the fight drags on, the shorter the timer gets. Am I the only one who's experiencing this bug, or are you guys experiencing it as well? Yeah, that is just so annoying. Like, initially, like, your timer starts at, like, I don't know, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and then, like, nearing the end of the fight, my timer shortens to, like, 1 second. Like, the bar just goes from here and then, like, all the way here. I'm like, what the heck? I barely even have time to click on the darn thing. So, my experience with it is kinda not very pretty. So, I would say I'll put it somewhere here. Probably, yeah, I'm gonna put this here. And this is just my own experience. Unraveler X, widely known to be used to be one of the hardest in challenges in the olden days, and people for quite a long period of time, people could only beat this with using the stupid hamster weapon cheese. But afterwards, people figure out more strategies for it. We got better equipment, and nowadays it's not such a threat after all. But I would say it can still give you a challenge if you don't know what you're doing. So I'm going to put Unraveler X here. Valerius and his challenge gauntlet. Oh, this one you need to tank out his heals first, and then you can deal with him. But with Technomancer in the equation, I would say it's not super duper difficult. Probably okay if you know the mechanics, because Technomancer exists, so you don't exactly have to wait for him to use up all of his healing. Where does Verli go? Valerius, probably here. Yep. Weird duo. You just can't bring pets, just can't bring guesses. Not that you can bring guesses anymore nowadays. Apart from that, yeah, this is quite an easy challenge. Just stack nature resist and they become a piece of cake. So this one probably above Hyperhydra. Why did I even put Hyperhydra so high? I have no idea. Is this considered high? No, you stack nature resist, they really become super easy. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here. Ref, no critical hits, that's about it. Just get a class that doesn't do a lot of critical hits, and yeah, this should be a piece of cake fight. Stack your water resist, that's pretty much all there is to it. Going to put Ref here. Alright. Yaphael and Ezraja, the first two bosses of the Exaltia Tower. These two, yeah, nowadays they are just very easy as well. So I'm going to put them here. Yep, very easy. Both of them are on equal power level. And last but not least, Z-Clam. Ooh, Z-Clam. Z-Clam is hard. Yeah, even if you stack Darkness Resist, Z-Clam is kind of hard. He also starts healing, so you really need to nuke him down as soon as you can. I would say, is Z-Clam hair-pullingly difficult? To some extent, yes, but probably all the way at the bottom, between these two. Yeah, Z-Clam is somewhere between these two. It's either at the top of this, or all the way at the bottom of this. For now, I would say Z-Clam is kind of hair-pullingly difficult, through my own experience. And that is it, guys. My DragonFable bosses tier list. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? If you guys don't want to comment, you guys can go ahead and head over to my Discord channel. The link is already up on the screen, and I'll be sure to read through all of your comments there. If you guys have any other ideas for videos that you'd like to see me make, please feel free to comment that down as well. And yeah, if you like this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel if you guys would like to see more of such future content. Till the next time, I'm your host Corban Gaming. Peace out.